What's going on, everybody? So, yeah, I just did that. No, it's just like the lighting's not too good right now. It's dark as fuck outside. It's also getting a little colder, that's for sure. Definitely. Summer, bye bye. I miss you. Here we come into the next season, fall, which I do like. I do like. But anywho, I want to talk about I relapsed basically. It's a funny topic to talk about, and it's going to be a relatively short video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not. I appreciate it. Give a like, follow through on my journey and things that work for me. It's kind of like a health channel, but it's a little bit more than that. Spiritual, exercise, just pretty much a little bit of everything, honestly. And yeah, basically I relapsed. Didn't do anything for like a whole month and a half on the no-fap journey, some people call it, which is just not busting the nut, basically. Some people call it semen retention. Basically, it's more of a funny story, I guess. It wasn't funny, I guess, when it happened, maybe for a little bit, but you just basically, you don't bust any nuts. It goes for women too, but for guys, you're not busting any nuts. And yeah, I was on it for like a month and a half, no problem, especially once you get past like that physical barrier, well, mental barrier I meant to say, which is really what it is. And another thing that I noticed is when you are involved in sexual activity, whatever it is, that's with yourself or with other people, you just get in like a groove of wanting to do it more. It's kind of like if you like to play the piano, once you start doing it, you just want to do it more and more and more. And that's kind of how it is with anything. But when you have sex, I notice too, and when you don't have sex, you don't really want it as much. You don't crave it as much. And that being said, I was like a month half in on the no-fap journey, and which is pretty good, you know, that's definitely good. And I just was stiff all day. The one day I was really stiff all day. It just wouldn't go away. And yeah, and then I was like, damn, eventually busted a nut later on that night. It actually was completely horrible. I mean, obviously I felt good and stuff like that, but then I wanted to cry. Whether it was from that, I don't know, later, like 25 minutes later, 30 minutes later, you know, because obviously I was happy and laughing, and then boom, now I don't know if that was a side effect of it, but definitely wanted to cry, and I felt like absolute shit. And now I'm not going to blame it solely on that. And yeah, I just want to tell my experience with that. Now, don't get it twisted. I don't think you're gonna cry when it happens. I was like a month and a half in. Like I said, I was just like stiff all day, and it's like I should have just overcame it and just kept going. Um, yeah, and that's what happened. I felt like I was gonna cry. I felt like absolute shit, and I didn't want to do it. So that was that. And like I said, I relapsed on two things. What do you know? And which other one, really not as bad, I guess. The sum, definitely not the sum. And it was, I hit a little bit of weed, one hit that is. And though I'm not perfect and I had things going on and I'm healing myself, which is a big topic and probably why I have some of these other situations too, but there is some mind over matter definitely when it comes to this. And like I said, I hit like one puff, and ironically, this day I was feeling like really good. I was feeling really good. Like I was actually starting to like think really clarity. I don't know what it was. I stretched for like an hour when I woke up. Then I ate like 2 bananas and some grapes, and my clarity was just, I felt so good, and I actually had energy, which I haven't had in a while. And I felt just like, I felt amazing, honestly. I was gonna make a video for YouTube to make how amazing I felt. I don't know why I didn't. And I took a little walk after I ate the grapes and bananas and stretched for an hour, and I just felt so, like, I felt amazing. And I can't say I was completely healed, but at the same time, I didn't have like all my energy and stamina, because I was just recovering from chronic fatigue and vegan diet. It took a long ass time. I'm still healing, but I decided after, you know, I was feeling so amazing, and what I want to capture is, if you're feeling amazing, you can't feel better than amazing. Like, if you feel good, you either feel good or bad. You don't really feel neutral for the most part, unless you're in your feelings or something. That does come, and that's all right every once in a while. But I wanted to say, you either feel good or bad. There's really no in between. Because if you're good, you're not feeling bad, and if you're bad, you're definitely not good. And there's other things associated with all of those, of course. But when it comes down to it, I was feeling good. I was feeling amazing. Like, just wow, I couldn't believe it. I was gonna shoot a video. I feel amazing. But the thing is I went, and for some reason after I took my walk, I was like, I want to hit some bud, and I did take a little bit of hit of the many names, reefer, weed. I took a hit, and just a small one, and it just made me cloudy. You know, it really got my adrenals going, my adrenaline going, and it just was horrible after that. It was just horrible. And I fucked up right then too. Now, who's to say I would have kept feeling better after that? I don't know, but I just wanted to say, yeah, I fucked up, you know. I'm not perfect either, and that just made me realize, hey, I need to step my game up. Even though, you know, people smoke bud all the time, it's not that big of a deal, but to me it was. To me, it definitely was. Just not for this time being, and for me right now, just don't want to. And yeah, I just didn't feel good. I was definitely foggy head, that's all I can say. Lost all that clarity, and I didn't feel amazing. That's all I can say after that. And basically ruined my day from feeling amazing, which I haven't felt amazing in like 3 years. So it's a lot coming from me feeling amazing. And that's because a whole different situations, not going to get into, but it's in my other videos. I'm not going to go over it all the time for those little effects, but just the fact I was feeling amazing, which I haven't felt in so long. Like, I had a clarity. I actually wanted to do a lot of things, and I had energy too, which is both a plus. But I plan to get back on the wagon of the no fap, you know, no sex, masturbation, and also stop smoking weed right then and there, you know. And then maybe some other things which we'll talk about, but that's basically all for this video. And I'll just touch on semen retention and not having sex. You get to live your life how you want to live it, but there's two aspects to it. One, the realization when you stop having sex and stop masturbating, there's a realization where basically it's like this: you just put your energy towards different things. Because if you go chase some coochie, some pussy, you know, you're out here wasting your time. Not saying you are wasting your time, but you're putting in a lot of time. Usually you have to go get it, you have to finesse it, then you get it, then the girl wants you to stick around, blah blah blah. You don't even really like the girl, you just want to have sex, and then maybe you're falling into some lies, and this is going into some other things. It's just, that's one aspect to when you don't think about sex, and when you push it to the side, unless you really want it, then go do it. But when you know, on your path and do what you really want to do, you're not going to be obsessing over this stuff. Basically, it's not going to be on your mind 24/7, and there's just other things. And like I said, that's just one aspect to it, is just your time and energy not being put into this. Whereas the other thing is, you do have more energy, because when you bust a nut, it goes for the females too, but I think it affects guys more. But it's both pretty much equal down the line, probably. But they say the male orgasm's everything. So when it comes to it, when a guy busts a nut, he's losing nutrients, he's losing power, he's losing energy. And that's coming from a person who's, you know, I can't even say study it, but experience it. I know. I just know. I'm coming deep-hearted. I've said this before. I don't want to keep repeating the message, but it's very true. You do lose energy. Now, it is subtle energy. You may not notice that energy, you know, but if you keep doing it, you'll notice that energy. Or you may not even be aware that you're fatigued or something like that. So there's two aspects to it real quick. I'll go over again. So when not having sex, and trust me, I used to be obsessed over sex and have a bunch of lust too, which there's nothing wrong. We live and we learn, and there's different lessons, but there's stuff they don't tell you. When you, again, it's about your time and energy, like what you're putting your energy to, and two, it's actually a physical loss of energy. So there's two aspects. a mental aspect and then a physical one. A physical loss of energy. You will lose power when you come. It's just like, because ultimately when you have sex, you are you're making a baby basically, and that's what it's there for ultimately. I'm not saying there's other aspects to it, of course there is, but when you have sex, you're making a baby, so you're sprouting your seed and using your energy. That's like your life force. That's the whole point of it. Now obviously nowadays it's taken to a whole nother aspect which is unbelievable, but I guess the times we live in, and that's what happens. So once you put that, the sex to the side and stuff like that, you'll come to other things and feel different. You'll definitely feel different. And a lot of creative people, if you don't know, I'm not sure the exact people now. I don't want to say Isaac Newton, but there's definitely, or I think it was Nikola Tesla was one of them who practiced semen retention. Obviously gurus, there's yogis, and there's definitely fighters out there and some other people I don't know off the top of my head. But it's different when you analyze it and aware of it and then when you don't do nothing with that energy. And then two, just being aware of it, because some people just don't have sex for reasons, beyond that. But if you are aware of it, which you should become aware of it, that's the whole point of it. And that's what they don't tell you, or what we don't learn about. Is like everyone wants to have sex this. Once you step away from that, just like notice how your body reacts and the energy, because you'll have more energy. It just takes your life force basically away from you, subtly though. That's why you have to be aware of it and watch. I was never addicted to porn though, or anything like that, but there's people, I guess there's a bunch of people that are. I don't personally know them, and they probably work in secrecy and don't tell you or don't show. I mean, so it's just, yeah, some people are, they're busting nuts all day and it's making them tired and fatigued. It's just like, one, they're putting their concentration towards this, and two, they're putting physical energy towards this. It's both, and you're letting go of both. So that's all I have to say about it. Be wise who you bang. I mean, if you want to go bang and try a bunch of different stuff out, to go do it, but it's ultimately about living your life. What do you truly want? Is it just the urge and it's gonna pass in 5 minutes, or has it been on your mind all fucking year? So yeah, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you're thinking, your experience below. I give the real experience, let you know how it is and what it ain't. And yeah, that's basically it. Give a like if you really like the video. I support everything you do. Like, share, comment, and subscription. So thanks. I just wanted to give it. And yeah, I plan to stop the weed and the sex, masturbation, both of them, or just coming and ejaculating, climaxing basically. So yeah, don't let things get the best of you. You get the best of them. Have a nice day.